another stop in southern Illinois. We're at Little Grand Canyon. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to see. We're gonna try to walk it. We hope it's not flooded. Just south of Murfreesboro, Illinois, off of 127. And I guess we're on Hickory Ridge Road to get here, but look it up. It's a really cool place to go. This is a kind of a rugged trail. There's spots like this, kind of look like it might be wheelchair accessible, but I wouldn't try it because it gets pretty steep unless you got a really, like a caterpillar-like track, treads on your wheelchair. This probably wouldn't be the place to come. There's certain areas you can get to with some overlooks, but that would be about it. And it's kind of a strenuous hike. If you're not in shape, you've been sitting at a desk for a year and haven't done anything, I wouldn't recommend it. It'll wear your legs out. I don't know how long the hike is, probably maybe 3 miles, but it's pretty steep. Going up and down, you gotta go up and down a waterfall in several areas.
Enjoy it, appreciate it. Thank you.
There's a big old tree that fell. Whew. So this ought to be real fun. Now here's steps over here. But I'll tell you what, you gotta check these steps for slipability. You know, this is, now you can see why it's not for the faint of heart to come down here, especially when it's water raining down. Somebody has chiseled a lot of steps in the rock, thank goodness. But when they're wet, you don't know whether to trust it or not. Whew. This is what you call an adventure hike, because it's not just an awesome path. Look where the water's come through here and carved this out. I was just telling John, my other buddy John, and I came here in after an ice storm. I think that was one of the stupidest things I've ever done in my life. We came up this with 2 dogs, and we were young men, but I had to rescue my dog off of a cliff. He fell over an embankment, and I had to climb down, holding on to trees in the ice, trying to rescue him. It was probably one of the more terrifying moments in my life because I thought I'd fall 75 feet to my death. We're getting close near the bottom now. Just one little pool after another. Whew. Oh boy. This is interesting. We got a waterfall coming down the steps we're going down. Ow. I'm glad I'm not too much older doing this. Like I said, this is not for the faint of heart when it's raining and got really wet down here, but definitely an adventure. All right, let's see where the steps are. We still got to make it way down there. We're almost there. Just keep from dying, it'll be a good day. This looks fun. Jeez Louise. This is a wild ride. Whew. This is a cool place. You could have a rock concert in it. It's so big. But we're walking in the creek here that's got some pretty steep cliffs on either side of it. Little caves up in there in the rocks. One thing in the spring, like it is now, you have to watch out for snakes down here. The spring and summer, because we're in the big muddy river bottoms, and they come up from that. And I stepped off a rock coming down the waterfall the other side that we're gonna go up later. I was helping a group of kids down, and I climbed down first, and I was giving this girl a hand down. Looked down at my foot, and there's a little water moccasin striking at my shoe. I had to get him out of the way with a stick, move him from that area. It's his right to be there. I just didn't want him there to strike any of those kids. And this is an area for timber rattlers. I don't want to climb over those logs on the creek. Yeah, there's a little trail up here I didn't even see. You always want to look over these logs before you put your feet down. There might be a copperhead or something in the area. Not trying to scare any of you snake people that are scared of snakes, but it's just something to always watch for. But look how steep these cliffs are coming up all around us here. That's a good 100 and some foot drop, you think? Jeez. Long way down. I found a deer carcass at the bottom of one of these. I don't know if something scared it and it was running and it forgot there was a cliff. Okay, I think we can go down the creek here again. It looks a little easier. We're almost at the shelter bluff. It's right up here, I think. Didn't seem like it was this far that long ago. Maybe I'm getting older. I used to be able to run through stuff like this when I was a younger man. But now that I'm a little older, been broken up a few times, it'll slow a man down. So it's maybe a quarter of a mile that we have to travel to get to this shelter bluff, but when you get here, it's pretty freaking awesome. No good clear path anymore. Used to be a path up along here that was much better. But everything keeps changing as the creek washes all these rocks and stuff and forms new channels. A lot of the people that come down here don't know about this big shelter bluff up here. Somebody took me to it years and years ago when I first came down here. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Here we are. Is this not a cool spot? Somebody's been camping out down here. Guess you can get all your drinking water right there. If you're gutsy enough to drink it. And those cliffs come up all over there. It's a big, beautiful place down in here. I would camp in here. I've camped in several places like this. Pretty darn awesome. Just to get a scale, you can see Vicki starting to come up there. Place is really tall, probably about, I'd say 40 feet up to that top shelf up there. Really cool place. So for all you flower lovers, these are bluebells, and there's some white trilliums right here. Beautiful flowers. Oh, this is the most flowers I've seen just about everywhere. Okay, these are purple red trilliums here.
Jack in the pulpit.
Jack in the pulpit up here. Look at these cliffs. I mean, these are just amazing. Where? Show me. Jack in the, here?
Yep.
Jack in the pulpit here. This is just absolutely gorgeous down in here. And it just goes on and on and on. That side, the cliffs aren't quite as steep, but they do go way up there. There's a little waterfall coming down the cliff here. Isn't that beautiful? I almost want to climb in. We've got our fleece on and we're kind of sweating after all this hiking. We're really going to be sweating when we walk up the other side, though. You thought coming down was kind of strenuous. That going up on the other side, it's kind of brutal too. I always go the opposite way that we're going now. This is probably one of the coolest places if you're into the outdoors and like to hike. Except if the river's way up and flooding, then you don't want to do it. I had to come through here chest high in the water one time when the river was up. It wasn't fun. Brought a buddy down here to see it. He was from the East Coast, from Baltimore. He wanted to come see it. I said, this is a cool place, man. And we couldn't get through. And we just said, heck, let's just wade through. I kept getting deeper and deeper. Like, oh God, what have we got into? I thought we were gonna have to swim for a while. But we're getting close to the big muddy area down here. You can canoe down the Big Muddy River. I've done it before from Murfreesboro, and I forget where we pulled out, but we camped out down here somewhere. It was cold and miserable, and we'd borrowed a tent and didn't know how to set it up. Nobody'd ever had a big giant 8-man tent like that. Nobody knew how the poles went. We struggled for an hour with it. It was getting dark. I just decided to curl up, sleep on the ground outside with my sleeping bag. And I was near the fire. Unbeknownst to me, we were burning poison ivy vines along with everything else, and I was breathing that smoke in. For the next 3 months, I thought I was gonna die. I could hardly breathe. I just coughed constantly. I used to run all the time, and I couldn't run that whole summer, and I was really mad about it. Just another bad adventure I've had that turned out to be pretty rough. But the trail's pretty well marked and blazed down here, so there's no difficulty in finding it. And we'll be going up pretty soon, up a big waterfall up ahead. And I'll start filming then. So here we are kind of at the end of the hike down in the valley, and you can see the river. That's the big muddy floodwaters right there backing up into here. So here are the big cliffs and the shelter bluffs that form along here. And we're gonna be going up the next waterfall. So this place is pretty hairy to get up to, and it's real steep paths. And you can fall to your demise a long distance down some of these if you're not careful. But look at all the holes in this rock from the water action from the glaciers we're here and melting. I can't imagine what this used to look like when a mile of ice started melting and carving all through this. Oh,
Beetle pollinates it since it's on the ground.
There's the flower. That's wild ginger. I don't know if you could hear that, but beetles pollinate the flower because it's so close to the ground. Yeah, by now your legs are starting to burn a little bit. By the time we get a third of the way up here, I'll probably have to stop and take a break. Can't be because I'm old and out of shape. I remember my friend and I came down here with his wife and daughter. And we were hiking up to Inspiration Point. And his wife got so tired, I thought she was gonna die on us. So we showed her the way to go back to the car. And we said, we'll meet you back there. So we ran this whole distance. This is when we were in our early 20s. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. We ran the whole little Grand Canyon down here, most of the trails. I'm still amazed that I did it. Go. Jeez. Okay, I found a slippery rock. Amazing, all these trees that have come down in here. When it starts coming, it comes down. This place quick. At least there's some handholds on the roots. We got to work our way up the rest of this canyon. It's a pretty stout climb. We're all breathing kind of hard and sweating. You can see how rooty this is and how you could trip and stumble pretty easily if you're not paying attention. we get up here, around this bend here, where the trail used to get real narrow. It used to wash out in some spots. It was like one of those, oh my God, spots where you go, I'm not gonna make it across this without dying. But I guess they just move the trail up a little more when it washes out. And it'll be a good 200-foot drop after we get up here a ways. So here we are. We've hiked all the way out of that valley, and we're coming to what's called Inspiration Point, or I always call it that. But holy cow, it's a long, steep hike out of there. But here's the sign at the top. This was covered 320 million years ago, covered by an inland sea. Deposited huge amounts of sand and mud along its shores, and they turned into sandstone. And there you can see the cliffs over there. People rappel off of those and technical climb them. And then there's the Muddy River, the Big Muddy. This is the whole Mississippi Valley. That's Missouri over there. And all those bluffs are Missouri. And the river just keeps on going through. Just amazing to think that the Mississippi was this wide. That's probably 4 to 5 miles across there. I can't imagine water flowing down in that huge amount. This absolutely amazes me. Oh, there goes a vulture flying off. Beautiful spot. Thank goodness the wind's blowing too. It feels really nice after we've been sweating down there, hiking out. Beautiful low area farmlands out here that are really productive, but lots of wooded areas. So from this Inspiration Point that's right here, it's about a mile back to the car along the path we're taking. It is a beautiful trail, and they made it so it wasn't quite so dangerous.